What's up, everybody? It's Matt from Peter Glenn, and in this video we're going to show you how to get 2 snowboards in one bag with bindings on both of them. Let's check this out. Okay, so it's not unheard of for somebody to have multiple boards. You might have a park board, a freeride board, all mountain, pow, and you might want to take more than one board to the destination that you are either flying or driving to, especially if you're flying. And we want to make sure we can get 2 boards into one bag, and you might not want to have to take the bindings off, and it's not something that you absolutely have to do. So especially when you're flying, obviously you can get hit with those oversized bag charges, and those can be crazy. And if you can fit all of your gear into your carry-on bag and into your backpack, which is 100% possible depending on the length of your trip, check the description down below for a video all about that. But if we want to get these boards into that one bag, there's a few things that you should know, and there's also something that you should know before you buy the bag. So right off the bat, when you are flying, you need to have a bag that is fully padded, all sides, top, bottom, and one of these walls that goes around. This is also going to be a must to get 2 snowboards with bindings into the same bag. A lot of the board sleeves and the cheaper bags, they're basically thinner up in the nose. They've got a little bit of room for the bindings in the middle of the board bag, but they're not going to actually fit multiple boards unless you take the bindings off. If you take the bindings off one of the boards, that's something that you can do with just about any board bag. You can pretty much get 2 of them in there. The main thing that you need to do is take the bindings off of the board that is longer, and you're going to put that underneath the shorter board, and then you can take your spare bindings and boom, set them right in between the bindings on the board that is mounted. But if we want to get 2 boards with bindings into the same bag, you're gonna need a bag that's a little bit bigger than what you think you'd need. So right off the bat, this name dropper is a 155. And kind of knowing with some of the companies how their board bags come, a lot of times they come sized. For instance, Dakine usually comes in a 57, and then the next size up from that is a 65. Burton, I happen to know, goes from a 56 up to a 66. So again, depending on the board, if you're only having one board in your bag, you only need to buy the bag long enough for the board that's in there. So for this 55, if it was the Dakine low roller, I'd be buying the 57. If it was the Burton wheelie gig bag, I'd be buying the 56. But to fit more boards in there, I'm gonna need to bump up to the next size up. We're gonna need that 66, or they're gonna need that 65. So the reason for that is that we're gonna fold the bindings down, and I always like to tuck the ankle straps kind of into the heel loop. We just want to make this thing as low as we can, and obviously we're going to need to have the high backs of straps, everything as low as we can get it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take that board, so we've got a 55 and this bag is actually a 66, and we're going to shove it all the way to one end of the bag. Now, when we take our second board with bindings, we're gonna do the exact same thing, make sure that we've got the bindings and everything folded down as low as possible. And then what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna go towards the opposite side, and we're gonna go bindings down. So we got bindings up in the bag. Now we're gonna go bindings down, and we're gonna take the nose and we're gonna push it towards the opposite end. So the bottom board's been shoved this way, this board we need to go this way, and then we can actually set it down. Now the reason we need that longer bag is that since the bindings are probably gonna be in the exact same spot, even though could be a different size board, you're actually gonna need to shift one way. So this is actually gonna make the boards longer. 55's going that way. This other one I've got, this Burton Nug, this is a 46. That one's actually got to go that way. So we need to add basically a binding width to one end of the board, because the board can't go perfectly with tip to tip, binding to binding, or else they'd be twice as tall. So once we get that in there, obviously we can zip this bag up, and there's plenty of room for 2 boards with bindings inside here. Now, the one thing that is good to note is that if you are packing up a bag like this, usually you can throw your boots on the nose and the tail, jacket and pants, helmet, all that stuff. There is gonna be a little less room. There's still gonna be some room in there for some soft stuff, but since we've got a kick, and a kick's gonna be going like this, there's not gonna be room in there for your boots. So you're gonna have to pack those in another bag, maybe in a carry-on, something like that. But again, it's gonna be way cheaper than packing and paying for 2 snowboard bags. So hopefully that helps out a little bit. And if you got any questions beyond what we talked about in the video, definitely leave some comments down below. We're on there every single day trying to answer your questions. We wanna make sure we get you into some rad gear, but most importantly, we wanna make sure that you can buy the gear that's actually gonna fit properly. Also make sure to like, subscribe, and definitely get that notification bell on too so you can find out when all the new videos drop. Grab yourself a new bag, but make sure if you're gonna put 2 boards in it that it's a little bit bigger than you actually need. Get to your destination and get out and ride, because any day of riding is a good day of riding.